I was able to get some first-time home buyers into a new home with hardly anything out of pocket, and let's talk about how you can do the same for your next purchase. Hey, I'm Alex, I'm your host, and today we're going to discuss how you can buy a home with hardly paying anything out of pocket. Before we get into it, let's talk about what some of the fees you may be experiencing are during the home buying process. So the first and the most commonly thought of is the down payment. The amount of this highly depends on which type of loan you're going with. First time home buyers, you can get as low as 3.5%. First time home buyers with conventional, you can get as low as 3%. If you're VA, meaning a veteran, you can get a 0% down payment as well too. Now, the other costs that are not commonly thought of are your closing costs, and these can really add up somewhere between 3 to 5% of the total sales price. This includes all of your loan fees, all of the recording fees with the county, getting an appraisal done. All of these miscellaneous fees, they really do add up. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, with all of these fees, how in the world did I ever manage to get someone to pay nearly nothing out of pocket? So let's talk about the down payment first. There's a couple of options here. As I already mentioned, if you are a veteran, you can qualify for a VA loan and you don't have to pay any down payment. It's 0%. You're welcome to put more if you want down, but you don't have to. Now, the other option in this situation, my buyers were not veterans, so they went with the CalHAFA Down Payment Assistance Program. This is a California-specific program that covers your down payment for you. Now, it's not free money. It is another loan that's wrapped into your mortgage that you are paying back every month. But if you are a little short on cash or you plan on doing some extensive remodeling that you know is going to cost quite a bit, this is a great way to avoid upfront fees. Now, keep in mind for this down payment assistance program, there are a few requirements that you must meet, including a certain credit, income, as well as you do have to be a first-time home buyer, meaning you haven't purchased any home or owned any home within the past 3 years. Okay, so we got the down payment out of the way. Now we're left with the closing costs, which, as I mentioned, can be anywhere from 3 to 5% of the sales price, which really adds up. So how I was able to get these buyers of mine into a home with paying hardly anything out of pocket and them actually receiving a check back at the end of the transaction was due to seller credits. Now, seller credits, also known as seller concessions, is when you ask in the offer of your purchase contract for the seller to give credits, essentially money back to the buyer to help them with these closing costs. Now, this money can be used for essentially any part of the loan, recurring, non-recurring, any of these items. And these are crucial for first-time homebuyers if you're a little bit short on money. So in this situation, we were able to request and negotiate enough credits to help cover just about all of their closing costs. Now, be aware though, when you are working with your realtor, this is a rare situation. It's not common where you really have to pay nothing out of pocket, but since it is winter time, there wasn't as much activity going on. As a buyer, you have a little bit more leverage and the ability to ask for more credits as long as your offer is fairly competitive and strong. So in our situation, we were able to ask for enough to cover just about all of the closing costs. And this has really helped my buyer secure the dream home that they were looking for. And it may have not been possible if we didn't negotiate for these credits. So if your goal is to buy a home this coming year, keep in mind that you may not have to pay quite as much out of pocket as you originally thought. Now, this can't be guaranteed. You may not 100% may not qualify for the down payment assistance. You may not get as many seller credits if it's a really competitive market, but in some situations you may, and this can be a fantastic tool for getting you to a new home if you are a first-time home buyer. If you do have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me directly or put your questions in the comments below, and we can talk about what we can do for you a little bit further and getting you into your first home.